Hey guys, it's Zoe here. Okay, so sorry that for the past two videos my hair has been kind of wet, but I really wanted to film this video. I've been wanting to film this video for about a week now, and I have some exciting news. I got my learner's permit. Oh my god! Sorry, I'm really excited. So I got it on the 2nd of November, Monday the 2nd. It was really awesome. It was like the perfect time to get it for me because I started driver's ed like I think on Thursday. So it was really nice to already know everything and have my driver's permit. And since I just took the test and I just got my driver's permit on the first try, I wanted to do a video for you guys who might be studying to get it or might be almost old enough to get it or are really nervous for the test, especially if you live in Virginia, because that's where I live, and I know that every state is a little bit different with its rules and requirements and everything like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Good luck if you're about to take the test. If you have yours or just got yours, good job. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about studying for the test. So this is my state driving manual. This is obviously the one for Virginia, but it basically just has all the information that you'll have to know for the test. You usually can pick these up at your local DMV, and they'll have one for your state, obviously. I actually, when I was studying for my test, my mom printed it offline, and it was just like this huge, obnoxious packet of paper, and obviously since we printed it at home, it wouldn't, like, print on both sides, so it was just, like twice as long as this. This is, like, such a skinny, and, I actually had to throw that away because it was just getting disgusting, but luckily in driver's ed at school, they gave us, driving manuals, and so yeah, I'm happy about that. But this is a good tool. You can highlight information and just read over. I would read over it maybe a couple of times. I actually never read like my whole driving manual, but I read like a good amount of it to know basic information, obviously. So one resource you might want is a driving manual. Second, and this is probably the one that helped me out the most, there is this app. Basically, you go to the app store on your phone and you type in driving manual for whatever. So if you live in Nebraska, like Nebraska driving manual or Nebraska DMV or something like that. And there's like a bunch of apps that will come up with free tests and everything. I'll try to link everything that I mentioned down below. Also, there's a bunch of online practice tests that you can take. Like, there's this one I think it's called drivingtest.org or something. I heard a lot of people mention it when I was watching people's YouTube videos on this, and they were really helpful. A lot of questions that were on the practice tests were actually on my actual test, so it was really helpful. I really liked, see, for me, I'm not the type of person that can just read something and get it. I have to, like, practice and, like, I don't know, I'm more of a visual, like, have to hear it, have to, like, experience it learner than just, like, read it and memorize it. I'm not very good at memorizing things. So I really had to study hard to get good grades and things, like, in school and stuff like that. So I think that the practice tests helped a lot because they were, like, multiple choice questions that were actually like the ones on the actual test, and it was good practice because I kind of got like a sense of how it actually like was like to take the test. So when I actually took the test, I wasn't that shocked, like, what? It's multiple choice? Like, I was like, I think I was pretty well prepared. Yeah, I would just study. Like, just study as much as you can. If you like making flashcards, make flashcards. If you like someone to quiz you, have somebody quiz you. If you just like to read, read. Like, anything that you normally do for school, just do it for this. And I would also like try to plan out when you're gonna take the test so that you have time to study instead of just like cramming it in 5 minutes before you take the test. Like make sure you have enough time to study. for example, I was eligible to take the test. I was old enough. So you have to be 15 and a half, at least in Virginia. So I was 15 and a half in July. And I could have taken it in July, but I didn't take it until this month. Because I like printed out the driver's manual and I would like read over a little bit every week, you know, just kind of skim through things. But, like, I never, like, actually, like, really committed to studying it and knowing it until this month. And this month was when, like, marching band kind of came to an end and kind of, like, I don't know, I had more time to study. And I just had a 4-day weekend last week. And my mom thought it was, like, the perfect time to go and take me because we had nothing else going on, and if we had waited anymore, it just would have gotten in the way of, like, Christmas and Thanksgiving and all this other stuff coming up. So, like, I recommend going at a... And so I recommend taking time to study. Obviously, I took 4 extra months. I mean, I probably could have done it earlier if I studied more, but I'm glad I waited just because it worked out. And I ended up passing on the first try, so that's pretty good. Okay, so now on to actually going to take the test. So I went to, obviously, my DMV. In other states, you might have to go to, like, police office or, like, a court or something to take it. I'm not really sure, but I just went to my local DMV. And basically, I had to bring my original birth certificate, my social security card, proof that I, like, lived here and, like, went to school here and stuff, and then I had to bring the, like, driver's license form where you fill out all the stuff that's gonna be on your permit and on your driver's license eventually and stuff like that. And so basically we got all that together, and I was super nervous before the test. Driving there, my heart was, like, pounding out of my chest. I was, like, so nervous, but we got there, and then we waited in this line, and then we gave this lady all the stuff, and then we got, like, a ticket. It was kind of like at a pharmacy where they have the different windows, and they're like, now serving blah 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 at window number 5 or whatever. And so we waited for our ticket number to be called, and then we went up to another desk, and they took all of our stuff from us, and then my mom's like, yeah, my daughter's here to take the permit test and all that, and then they gave me an eye test where I looked into this, like, little machine, and then they had, like, a line of letters, and they said, like, read line number 5 or whatever, and I passed that, which is good, but I was wearing my contacts, so if I wasn't wearing my contacts, that would have been kind of bad, because I probably would have failed. Anyways, we did that, and then they took my picture. And I don't know, they just have, like, this white background. They don't go to a separate room. It's, like, in front of the desk or the window or whatever, and it's just, like, a white background, and they have you stand in front of it, and then they take your picture. And, yeah, that happened. And then we went to go sit down for maybe, like, 5 minutes at the most. But then they called me over to another desk, and the lady's like, okay, go sit in that room, and you're at, like, desk number 2, and that's where you're gonna take your test. And it was in, like, this little room, and there was, like, a few kids already in there taking their test, so I went to the second desk that she told me to, and on, like, it was on a computer, but wasn't, like, a mouse or a keyboard or anything. It was, like, a touch screen, and so it said, like, press to start your test, and I pressed, and then I selected my name, make sure all this information's correct. Yeah, I agreed to the terms of service, and then I pressed continue, and then I started the test. And then the first section of the test was a 10-question on signs. So if you go to, say, this manual, the first chapter is on signs, so it has, like, a bunch of all the road signs that you'll need to know and stuff like that. So you need to get 100% on the 10-question sign portion. Like, you have to get 10 out of 10. If you miss even one question, your test is over, and you have to wait 15 days to take it again. You have to get all of the signs right. And then, once you get all the signs right, you go on to the general knowledge portion of the test. So, in Virginia, the one I took, it was 30 questions, and you have to get... I did the math after I took the test, but you have to get at least 24 questions right to pass. And then I started taking the test, and there was, like, a few that I was kind of, like, unsure about, and there was, like, 1 or 2 that I definitely, like, didn't know. But I took it, And then I ended up only getting 3 wrong. So I got like a 27 out of 30 and then obviously 10 out of 10 on the signs. And I passed on my first try. And then like after you're done the test, like you go through the tests and it's like, are you sure you want to select this answer? Yes. And then after you're done answering all the questions, like you can go back and like look at all your answers. And then if you want to change some, you can and stuff like that. So yeah, and they give you plenty of time, like you have as much time as you need, like please don't rush, just stay calm during the test, breathe, it's going to be okay, worst comes to worst, you'll fail and you'll have to take it again, it's not going to be that bad, and you'll probably get it the second time if you don't get it the first time. And yeah, it was actually a pretty easy test, but if I hadn't reviewed, like, the night before I took the test and the whole like morning before I took it, I wouldn't have passed because there were some things that I found out those 2 days that like I needed to know because they were on my test. And I actually went at kind of the end of the day, like I went at like 3-ish, 3:30 something, and it wasn't that crowded. So like I recommend going on like a day where there's not going to be a lot of people because it can take a while, but it actually didn't take a while for me. But yeah, I finished the test and I went up to the lady and she's like, did you pass? And I'm like, yeah. And okay, this is kind of funny, but one of the things that my mom was upset about was that they never, like everyone in the DMV seemed like really unhappy. And I guess it's just the fact that they work at a DMV. Oh, it's just, I guess it's not a very fun job, but the people in there are always grumpy, I guess, and she was upset that no one seemed happy that I passed, but I wasn't really that bothered by it. I was just like still in shock that I like passed, and I was just like, I get so nervous for tests, like I freak out. But anyways, I told her that I passed, and she's like, yay, like good job. Well, she didn't say that, but like she was like, okay, cool. And then she gave us this paper copy of my driver's permit, like not the hard card copy, but it was just like a piece of paper, and I had to sign it, my mom had to sign it, and then she gave my mom a receipt and like stuff like that, and then we left. And yeah, I was really relieved that I passed on the first try because then I didn't have to worry about it anymore. And if you don't know, you have to hold your driver's permit for 9 months before you can take your driver's test, like the actual test behind the wheel to get your actual driver's license. So I can't take my driver's test until next August. So yeah. But yeah, I ended up passing the first try, and I feel like it's not that hard. Like, if you study and if you read your driver's manual and you take practice tests, you're gonna be, like, absolutely fine. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below if you have any more questions or if I forgot to talk about anything and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, also, they sent me my hard copy of my driver's permit like today, so like it took a little less than a week to be sent to me, but yeah, I'm not allowed to show it because my mom doesn't want all my personal information on the internet, but usually they won't give you your hard copy right away. They'll usually like just give you a temporary one, and then they'll send the actual one to you in the mail. But anyways, sorry about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye, guys!